I graduated from the Naval Academy in '98. Commissioned in the summer of '98. I went to SEAL training in the fall '98. We go off in the teams. I think Clint went to SEAL Team 5 and I was at SEAL Team 3 and I stayed in a lot longer. And by the time we got to 2011, I was getting out of the teams after 13 years. Coming out of the military, I wasn't sure what was next. Clint called me and just told me about Carry the Load. I wasn't prepared for entering any kind of organization at the time. And Clint just said, well, can you get an American flag on foot over 30 days, 1,750 miles from West Point to Dallas? I said, absolutely, that we can do.
My transition was really difficult. I entered active duty shortly before 9/11/2001, and then 9/11 happened. I deployed. It was difficult, but it was one of the proudest things that I've ever done. Yeah, I felt really proud about what we were doing. My husband is a combat veteran as well. I've always had a dedication to helping people. That's very important to me. October 2006 through October 2007 was my first deployment to Iraq. I was with 97th MP Battalion out of Fort Riley, Kansas.
I first met her in Iraq. I saw her walking across the desert. I was like, man, she's kind of thick. I'm gonna have to go find her.
I met Terry when I transferred to Baghdad, Iraq. He used to stare at me all the time. When I deployed, my sergeant major in the States told me, Sergeant Curry, you do not date men. While you're deployed, you will not be that female. And so that's what I did. When we left, we both ended up in Fort Dix, New Jersey together. We didn't know anyone else, and that's where our love story evolved.
This is the one I have in the foyer when you first walk in. Yeah, there's more pictures of me and my beautiful wife.
I was responsible for our killed in action reports, our missing in action reports. When the family learns that they lost a loved one, you want them to have every detail, every question possibly answered. Reading those details, writing those details, that took a toll on me. I believe that's where my PTSD came from. March 2011 is when I got out of the military completely. My daughter was 3 at the time, and she didn't call me mommy.
Did you take your test yesterday? Your math test? Was it hard?
Her and Terry had an amazing relationship. I worked so much, so many long hours. I didn't spend time with her. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know me as mommy. She didn't refer to me as mommy. So it was important to me to go home and be a mom. Getting out the military, I thought, oh, this is good. This is easy. I'll do that, and it wasn't. I thought when I got out the military, I'll just do one of those resume thingies. I have all this experience, I'm a great worker, and I'll get a job. And I couldn't find a job. I couldn't even get an interview. Once I was home by myself, that's when the depression and the PTSD hit, and I couldn't run from it anymore. I probably was running from it and didn't realize it. We had been trying to conceive a second child, couldn't get pregnant. It had been about a year that we had given up on trying to get pregnant, and of course, I got pregnant. At 35 years old, I was pregnant with our second daughter, and Terry had just retired and got this government contracting job that was sending him to Afghanistan for 18 months.
She did the entire pregnancy while I was in country. At that particular time, I thought my mother was the strongest person I knew, but my wife was. And she did the entire thing all by herself, knowing that I went back to a combat zone and I was still in the fight because I really never left the fight.
I got really sick at the beginning of the pregnancy, so here I am with a 4-year-old pregnant in New Jersey. All my friends have PCS to different locations by now, and I'm by myself.
I don't think she wanted to stress me out because I was in country dealing with what I was dealing with. And so she kept my stress level down, but her stress level was steady going up and up and up.
I was in a really dark, bad place. And I felt like I wasn't being a good mother. I wasn't being a good wife. So I felt that my family would be better off if I wasn't there because I wasn't good at anything. So I decided that I wanted to die.
That's the Carry the Load relay and volunteers who joined to walk its first 2-mile leg with the East Coast Relay team, which started its walk on May 1st in West Point, New York.
Now the group's mission is bring back the true meaning of Memorial Day.
The inspiration really came from my co-founder. We wanted an event where we could come together and have a meaningful Memorial Day experience. An executive here in Dallas came out year one there at White Rock Lake. I think he stayed for 20 hours. He was very moved at what he saw. He approached Clint and said, there's a gentleman, I've worked with him before, and he's kind of a marketing guru, a bit of a mad scientist, but very talented individual. His name was Dill Driscoll.
I'm a logistics guy. I did some of the biggest logistics events in the world. Live Aid, Live Earth. I understand I move men and materials, and kind of like a lot of people thought I should have been in the military. So I had that mindset.
We subsequently learned that Dill, early on in his marketing career, his biggest client was Coca-Cola. They were sponsoring the Olympics. First time they did the Olympic torch relay, but that was Dill's brainchild. His idea was to take the torch all over the world in a relay. I first met Coleman at the Naval Academy. Phenomenal reputation, both there at the Academy, but athletically as a wrestler, just a stud. Clint said, well, Coleman's getting out of the Navy, trying to figure out what that next step's gonna be. While he's figuring that out, wouldn't it be great if he could come work with us for 6-8 months, work with Dill on all the logistics and the planning, and then ultimately the execution of the relay. And that's when we reconnected again.
I was just out of the Navy after 13 years, 3 little kids, living in Virginia Beach. I hadn't even transitioned to regular life yet in the private sector. Dill had spent his life in marketing and running the Olympic torch relay all over the world. So in Dill's mind is a very complete, organized, running operation because he had done the Olympic torch relay. We get to the spring, and I don't really know how to do an Olympic torch relay. That's not obviously in my skill set. And so what we end up with is Dill Driscoll, myself, a Cruise America RV. We drive to West Point. We wrap the stickers on it in the parking lot of the Thayer Hotel in West Point. And the next morning we leave. We didn't run the shower in. We didn't use the stove because it just messed up the kitchen area with 1 bed to sleep in and no air conditioning, which was my fault. But I think when it really started to feel like something was happening, and it wasn't in some big way really, but it's when we left the northeastern, for me, when we left the northeastern seaboard. So we left New York, we finished with Philly, got to a place where people started showing up and saying, we heard about you from whatever.
The news.
Fill in the blank. Even not even the news. Yes, the news and other things.
Right.
People kind of in places where we didn't expect them to show up.
For me, it happened similar to that. I'm carrying the flag. We left Princeton. We're going down to this town. Pouring rain. And here comes this guy in a fancy car driving the other way. Sees me walking in the rain with the flag. Stops in front of me and he says, hey, what the hell are you doing? And I said, I'm carrying a load, sir. We're, the story, we're walking from West Point to Dallas, bring back the true meaning of Memorial Day. He said, well, get in the car and, I'll take you down there.
Like, no,
no, you don't understand. We walk. This is what we do. Give me your number and stuff. And literally a day later, he calls me, says, hey, you're gonna do this next year? I said, absolutely, we're gonna do it next year. Making that up, of course. And he says, well, I'm gonna make this thing a special thing. Yardley, Pennsylvania, to this day, is a big,
Still big?
a major deal.
Oh, wow.
And every merchant that one day gives 20% of their take to carry the load.
So I'm in New Jersey. The news comes on, and Coleman is walking. He's wrecking. He started in West Point, which means something to me. He's now in New Jersey, walking towards Dallas, which is home. So I thought, what is he doing? And they're interviewing him, but he is walking and he's determined, and he's talking about who he's carrying for, and he has this huge wreck on. He's so determined. And it was the first time that I realized there's other people in this world that are kind of going through things and suffering, and it's ending in Dallas, my hometown. Like, how amazing is that? Well, I had a strong need to talk to him, to see him, to walk with him. So I got up, I got dressed, I jumped up, and I went looking for him. They said exactly where he was. I knew where it was. I could not find him. Seeing Coleman walk, seeing his determination, listening to him tell his stories, he ignited something in me. We decided to move back to Texas, where we have a family support. And I was invited to Attitudes in Attire, and that's how I got involved in the veteran community.
Carry the Load had been in operation a year or year and a half. They had started giving to other charities, but they didn't really have a female organization that was working with women who had served in the military. I met Stephen actually through his mom. I said, I really need to meet somebody who can talk to me and give me help. And she said, I've got the perfect person for you. I said, who? She said, my son, Stephen. He was a Navy SEAL. The women that we serve are women who have suffered PTSD, and they have suffered a lot of military sexual trauma. Boots to Heels is a program for women transitioning out of the military. They all come together. And that's something else about our Boots to Heels program that's a little bit different than our core program. All of the women who come to our workshops for Boots to Heels, they have a commonality. They have all served in the military in one way or another. And it's amazing to see the difference.
When I first started volunteering at Attitudes in Attire and Carry the Load came up and they described to me what it was, I was like, that's it. That's the place.
Welcome aboard American Airlines, 1213 over to Baltimore, Maryland.
Today, I will be leaving Dallas and flying to Baltimore to go to Annapolis, Maryland to meet Coleman in person. I'm surprising him to say thank you. He has saved and carried so many people. It is important that I express that to him. Express what he did for me and my family. My children have grown into very beautiful, they're gonna be badasses, and I know it, and Coleman did that for me. And he needs to know that that walk, that determination that I saw in him, that he gave that to me to get the help I needed. I love this house.
This is sucker driveway.
Hi, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Have a
Good to
chair.
meet you.
Hey, Karina, how
Hi,
are you doing?
I'm well.
Nice to see you.
It is good to finally meet
How
you
doing?
in person.
You too.
You know, I randomly told that story to Debbie. I finished it, and Debbie, her eyes were glazed over, and I thought, did I offend her? What did I do wrong? And about 3 weeks later, she comes to me and tells me that was Coleman.
Oh.
So I never expected to learn your name or who
That's
you were.
hilarious.
Or I actually wrote you a letter,
Oh my goodness.
so I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Dear Coleman, my name is Karina Mitchell, and I am a 16-year Army veteran. I got out of the Army in March of 2011. Terry and I were both active duty stationed in Fort Dix, New Jersey. Terry was in his final year before retirement, so we stayed in New Jersey and planned on making it our forever. I don't know how to put into words the gratitude that I have. Coleman ignited that in me. And it was the first time I understood that something was wrong with me, but I didn't have to die. He saved my family. Yes, he saved Karina's life, but he saved the Mitchells. He helped us heal. I've actually shared that story with my clients and saw the inspiration. I started running. I started off walking 1/4 mile, and within 4 months I was running 8-9 miles nonstop every day. I didn't take a break. My determination was Coleman. I could see his eyes, I could see that sharpness in his face, and he was gonna make it from West Point, New York to Dallas, Texas.
Not everyone gets that opportunity to meet someone that sparks something inside of them. Karina took me out of a shell. And then so Coleman helped her and helped me at the same time. It all came full circle.
That day back in 2012 gave me hope I wasn't yet aware that I needed. And now here I am every day dedicating my life to helping and providing for my fellow veterans. Thank you, Coleman, for helping me, and the many others I am more than positive you have helped along the way. Thank you, Coleman, for carrying me until I was able to carry myself.
Crazy.
It is.
Holy smoke.
It is an honor to meet you in person.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Man, I don't know, it's so many things, thoughts and feelings, and just coincidences, which my wife said there isn't such a thing. They're all coincidences that happen for a reason.
Yes.
It's just unbelievable.